I'm sharing three poems with you today that are all tied to this wild thing that we call life and how we kind of move through this. One poem's about something that many, if not all, kids would experience, certainly a lot of them growing up when I grew up and before me, but it's something that's long since gone now. It's something that kids may not even be able to recognize. The other poem that I'm sharing with you today is tied to a time that we have each year. It's not something that it always goes by, but unlike that first poem that's gone and probably never coming back, this is going to be reoccurring, not just for me and you, but for everybody that comes after us and for everybody who came before us. And the third poem's about the magical thing. Really, the only thing that we really have in life when you kind of boil it all down. It's about the most precious part of life, and it's about the thing in life that we have the least amount of control with. So these are all different elements, all different parts of life, and they're all tied together in some ways, at least for me. Some of it you'll relate to, others I think you'll just find interesting, or at least that's what I hope. That's why I wrote them. And the first poem is entitled Shoe Leather Express. When you've got no means of transportation, a thumb coupled with some desire can be your passport to adventure. Innocence and youth are the usual victims when a teenager discovers a world at the end of an outstretched arm. Funny, no one hitchhikes anymore. Maybe because Leatherman made it seem more than it was. Legal obstacles contribute to make the pull and mystery of young adulthood remain just outside of reach. Where the Shoe Leather Express couldn't go, fear, excitement, opportunity, and adventure. All yours for just a ride from here to there. A rite of passage that's gone, a victim of this new virtual world. So my question, I'm curious. I mean, how many of you folks have ever thought about or even done any kind of hitchhiking? When I was a youth, virtually every time you got in a car and went for a ride, going anywhere, you'd see at least somebody doing it. And now, gosh, it's probably been forever and a day since I've seen somebody do it. And that's things change. Don't look at me as the old man kind of saying, oh, if and when. But the other side of things being, you certainly learned a lot by doing it. Sure, there was danger, but let's be honest, there's a lot of dangerous things that help us learn. One of the things I want to do is share the things I've experienced. That's why I create these poems. And in fact, I'm actually coming out with a book very, very soon. And I'd love to get you a big discount. I'd love to share that book with you and everything it's going to have in it. So right now, if you would, down in the comments, put poems. And I'll make sure you get a huge discount. And I even share some exclusive content. I like to create kind of a weekly-ish email. Just some good stuff that might make you think and hopefully some things you'll enjoy. The next poem that I want to dive into goes into seasons. There are 4 seasons in any given year. Certainly where I live, the seasons are very distinct. In other parts of the world, they're less so. But we've all decided and we've come kind of an agreement that there are 4 seasons. And not surprisingly, because they come and go year in, year out, we all have certain seasons that we enjoy, some more than others. And I'm going to kind of dive into the season I enjoy the most. This poem's entitled Autumnal Musings. Summer's days are haunty, springtime's aspiration. Winter's despondency smothers, but fall's unrivaled because of its seriousness. In fall, summer's only a memory, a recollection whose edges have been smoothed by the winds of fall. Heat and discomfort have melted from our memories, leaving behind the ice cream cones, carnival rides, and fireworks. The coolness of fall's winds move us to reflect. We turn the pages of the mind back. Remembering the memories of summer, young adulthood, and like chafing thighs, I'm okay that it's in the rearview mirror. In fall, squirrels have a burgeoning urgency, no longer cavalier and filled with abundance. I'm at that serious point of life, the autumnal time. My search for nuts is no longer cavalier. In fall, what was new, fresh, and bright is now hoary. Not yet old, but aged. A distinction that only time can explicate, if that's even possible. Bring on the chill. Bring on the challenges. I anxiously pop the collar of my coat, turn my face into the cold breeze, and I'm completely content to be exactly where I am. Life is beautiful as it changes. So I'm curious to know how you feel about that poem. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know because, we each enter into the different seasons of the year with some excitement, maybe some trepidation. And I think that kind of life itself kind of runs parallel with that. I don't know if I'm the only one kind of thinking like that, but we approach different times in life. And I'm fortunate, at least as I look back on the time I've been here, I really am thankful for virtually everything I experienced so far in life. And I love what I'm having and experiencing now. And I look forward to what's ahead of me. I hope there's a lot of time, but that's beyond what I can control or have direct influence over. So, you just kind of go with it now. This next poem is about the thing that we worry a lot about, that we try and control, but we never can. It's that idea of controlling the very time that we have. And I want to share this poem with you because I think it's something that we don't spend enough time thinking about, and maybe even adjusting how we go about life, because it's important. This poem's entitled The Waiting Game. Life and time are inextricably connected, like identical twins, through forces that extend beyond their reach. Forever linked regardless of circumstances or differences. Compared to a toddler, an hour to a septuagenarian is a different kettle of fish. Waiting is a learned concept. Age is the steady drip that erodes time, leaving patience as a residue. Or is it the other way around? Smarter minds than I will solve, or so they say. No one really knows, yet time's the only thing we really have, until we don't. Youth bellows with excitement, a passion that's the antithesis of patience. Yet we are often left penniless when it's time for us to pay, proving life's a fool's errand. What we need the most is beyond our grasp, when we need it the most. Perhaps it's part of the plan, or perhaps it's because the water witch lied. Maybe this is just a sign of an old man's apathy, wanting to pay the ransom for another memory warped by time. Except by my age, the price is too high.